Identifying and nurturing the right strategic partnerships is probably one of the most critical skills for any leader in the hotel industry. It really is the engine for sustainable growth. But how do you sort through all the noise? How do you separate the high impact opportunities from the ones that are just going to drain your resources? Well, that's exactly the skill we're going to master together.
Everything we're going to cover is built on practical, real-world knowledge that's directly aligned with how modern hotels operate. We'll be using industry-leading practices to guide you through this. So let's dive right in. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about why the strategic approach is so essential. Then, we're going to look outward at the market. And right after that, we'll turn inward to look at your own operations. From there, we'll tackle how to choose your allies wisely. And finally, how to put it all together to build a powerful partnership portfolio. So, why do we even need a structured approach in the first place? Can't you just see what comes along? Well, no. It's because not all partnerships are created equal, and honestly, a lot of them can do more harm than good if you're not approaching them with real strategic foresight. And this really gets to the heart of it. A bad partnership doesn't just fail to add value, it actually subtracts it. It drains your time, your focus, and your budget. Remember, the goal isn't just to have more partners, it's to have the right ones.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, before you can even think about finding the right partner, you have to deeply, deeply understand the world your hotel operates in. And that all begins with some serious external analysis.
The key word here is continuous. Market analysis isn't a report you do once a year, it's an ongoing activity. You've got to keep your ear to the ground, constantly listening to the market so you can spot those new trends, see the shifts in demand, and find those competitive gaps before anyone else does. Let's take a real-world example, wellness travel. A sharp market analysis would have picked up on this as a rapidly growing segment. That single insight immediately points you toward a very specific type of partnership, maybe with a premium fitness brand or a local spa that lets you capture a whole new high-value guest. That's strategic thinking in action. And it goes beyond just big trends. We have to analyze our specific guest segments. Think about it. What a corporate traveler needs is completely different from what a leisure guest is looking for. One needs partners that offer efficiency, like event organizers or tech providers. The other is looking for unique experiences, which means you need partners like local tour operators or cool lifestyle brands. Understanding this distinction is absolutely crucial. So, understanding the market, that's half the battle. But the next step is the one that really counts. You have to turn that lens inward, because at the end of the day, all those external opportunities mean nothing if they don't align with your hotel's specific internal goals. And that brings us to what might be the most critical stage of all, the internal assessment. Just think of it like this. There is no way you can find the right partner if you don't truly know yourself first. You have to get crystal clear on these areas. What are we truly great at? Where are our gaps or weaknesses? Are we trying to break into a new market, reposition our brand, or maybe just improve our distribution mix? The answers to these questions become the blueprint for the exact type of partner you need. And this is the absolute truth. Without that internal blueprint, you just end up chasing shiny objects, opportunities that sound good on the surface, but don't actually move you closer to your real vision. You become reactive instead of strategic. That internal clarity is what turns partnerships from a game of chance into a deliberate act of business architecture. All right, you've looked outward at the market and you've looked inward at your own strategy. Now it's time for the decision phase, that disciplined process of filtering through the options and selecting the right allies. A truly high-potential partner is going to take all of these boxes. You have to ask, are our goals and values aligned? Do our skills complement each other? And maybe most importantly, is there a genuine, authentic commitment to making this work for both of us? This is the filter that separates the true strategic allies from just casual acquaintances. This quote, which I know is a core principle from your curriculum, really just says it all, doesn't it? The easy or convenient choice is almost never the strategic one. The really transformative partnerships, those are forged from a shared vision for what the future could be. So, how do you actually put this into practice? You start by being realistic. Your time, your team's energy, your management resources, they are all finite. It is so much better to have 3 deeply integrated, high-impact partnerships than 20 superficial ones. Think depth over breadth. Focus creates power, and deep collaboration is where you'll find the incredible results. So after all this disciplined work, the analyzing, the assessing, the prioritizing. What's the ultimate outcome? Well, you create something much more powerful than just a list of contacts. You build a strategic growth portfolio. And this is the real payoff. You get growth by reaching new markets and new guest segments. You get resilience because you're diversifying your business to better handle any market shifts. And, maybe most importantly, you get competitive differentiation. The right partnerships create a combined value that your competitors simply cannot replicate. As you all move forward in your careers, I want you to keep this question front and center. Don't just think about who you can work with. Think about who, through that powerful combination of shared ambition and strategic alignment, could fundamentally transform your future. That is the power of a true strategic partnership.